everyone. Welcome to Mindful Crafts and More. I'm Katrina. If this is your first time checking out my channel, welcome. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. I really appreciate you just hanging out with me for a bit. So, hi everyone. You know what today is? Today is the first official day of winter. And what does that mean? It means it's time for the seasonal Yarny YouTube hop. This is an awesome collaboration that was inspired and created by Kim over at the Crafty Nomad. She thought of a way that we could commemorate each of the seasons and decided that we would go ahead and do our first makes that we were inspired to do and share them with each and every one of you. So if you haven't checked out Kim's channel yet, what are you waiting for? She is awesome and very inspiring and just does some wonderful work. She is multi-talented and is just phenomenal in so many ways. So please go and check her out. All right. So now there are a lot of content creators who also are just so awesome and so creative and so inspiring. And there is a wonderful playlist that has been created. So if you have not checked it out yet, please go over and check out Kim, the Crafty Nomad, check out her channel, and you will find the playlist. I will also go ahead and link the playlist in my description box below so that you'll be able to see it as well. All right, so there are quite a few content creators, like I said, so please check them all out. Now, before I get into what I decided to make for the winter edition of the seasonal Yarny YouTube hop, I want to tell you about what I'm wearing. This is not something that I just made. I made it as a pattern test for my Yarny bestie, Pricilla over at Distinctive Crochet. Pricilla is also a very awesome and just multi-talented young lady. And if you haven't checked out her channel yet, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and check her out. So what I am wearing is the Surprisingly Easy cabled hat and cowl. And these are just awesome patterns that she came up with. They're very easy to do. They don't take a long time to work up either. And the version of the hat that I am wearing is actually the messy bun hat. So the top here actually is open and it still wears very nicely. And I don't mind at all because sometimes it gets very hot for me. So this actually allows a little bit of cooling and no overheating. So I think it's a wonderful thing. You can also use it as a messy bun hat, and I could take and maybe make a ponytail or something like that. And that's a beautiful thing as well. So please check out her channel. This does come as a written pattern, I believe. Also, it comes as a tutorial and it's very easy to follow. So please check it out. Surprisingly Easy cabled cowl and hat. Okay. All right. Over at Distinctive Crochet. All right. So now, what did I decide to make for the seasonal Yarny YouTube hop winter edition? Well, there's been a lot going on. And to be honest, it really has taken me a while to just put my thoughts together to see what I was inspired to make. And I almost missed it because I did make some of these things in anticipation of it, but it just took me a while to get them completed. And so if you guys will just bear with me and allow me to show you what I came up with and how I was inspired, then I would greatly appreciate it. Okay. All right. So the first thing is with all of the different things going on, the wintertime does bring celebrations as well. And when I think of some of the celebrations in the winter, I think of snow, which is why you see the background. But I also think of just special times that occur during this time of year. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to make some angels. Now, this time of year, actually, I do make usually dishcloths, but I didn't have the energy or whatnot to make it. But what I did do was something that really required my focus, and that's what I needed. I needed a project that would require focus. So I made a beautiful angel. All right. Now, I'm going to look at my notes so that I can tell you exactly. It's called A Beautiful Christmas Angel, and it's from a YouTube tutorial And the channel is called Crochet Around the Globe. All right. So I want to show you my beautiful angel. I have not stiffened it yet or blocked it, but I do think that it came out beautiful. And this is made with thread. All right. Here it is. My angel, I think, just came out great. And I did go ahead and follow the directions on creating the loop as I was making it. This basically is a all-in-one piece construction, and it's great. You go ahead and you fill it, and then you go ahead and work on the neck, and then the body and the wings, and then you work on the skirt portion. And so it is all thread. It's using a size 10 crochet cotton, and I used a 1.8 millimeter hook, and I do love the way it came out. So again, it does need to be blocked, but I love it and I think it came out great. You guys let me know what you think, okay? Have you ever done a thread angel before? They're actually not very hard to do. I have a couple of books with patterns and some leaflets that I've had for quite some time, but perhaps consider trying your hand at a thread angel. Now, of course, you can make these larger by using maybe a sport weight yarn or maybe a size 3. Size 3 cotton is very easy to work with. And of course, your angel will be larger accordingly. All right. So that was one project that I did. All right. So now the next thing was, what do I think about when I think about winter? And that happens to be a lot of hats because again, during this time of year, it starts to get cold where I live and where I grew up, and you need to make things that are going to help to provide warmth. So I did that in a couple of projects, and these are projects as I was inspired by some of my fellow Yarny friends and fellow content creators. All right. So the first one that I was inspired to make was a beautiful pink paradise beanie. Now, this particular beanie was something that was created by Juan, the yarn addict. But to be honest, I didn't see Juan's video initially. I am subscribed to his channel, but I honestly really hadn't been on YouTube a whole lot over the last couple months, and so I didn't see it. But I happened to be on, and I happened to see our awesome and dear friend Andrea over at Olajoe The Crocheting Sailor, and she showed her version of this beautiful beanie. And she explained that in the initial video, Juan mentioned that one thing that he would have done differently was to reverse the direction of the stitches on a couple of rounds, and she had done that. So I was able to see how it would come out with that particular um, 2 rounds being done in a different way. And I loved it. So I immediately went over and watched his videos, and I thought, yes, I am going to make one. All right. So the yarn that I chose for mine was this beautiful Super Saver ombre. Okay. And this one is called Baja Blue. Beautiful colors, right? Beautiful. And I love the ombre um, yarns as they kind of fade in and out of the different colors. Just beautiful. So now I'd like to show you my beanie and you guys tell me what you think. I hope that this does Juan's pattern justice and we shall see. Okay. So this is mine. All right, so I love the way it came out. It's supposed to be a pink paradise beanie, but you know what? I think it's beautiful in any color. Now, for this one, I didn't have to change colors at all because I allowed the yarn to do what it was going to do. And I just think it is great. It fits wonderful. All right, so pink paradise beanie. Try it out, okay? I still have some of my ends that I have not woven in on this one, but I love the way it turned out. And thank you so much, Juan, for a beautiful beanie. All right, so the next thing is I was inspired by Crystal over at Day Crochet. Now, as I stated, I was having some trouble focusing and just a lot going on. And if you didn't know, just check some of my more recent videos and then you will understand why. Okay. But in any case, Crystal came out with a beautiful and very quick beanie, and I believe she calls it her Supersonic Crochet Beanie. And she has in her description that you can do this within about an hour. And that is true. You really can make this beanie within about an hour, unless you're very slow at crochet. And in any case, that's okay because you still will be able to complete it in a faster time than you would another beanie using a different type of yarn. So this particular one actually uses a category 6 yarn. And the one that I chose was Wool Ease Thick and Quick. Okay. So I actually purchased this and I got it for $3.97 on clearance. It at that time sold for $7.99. And the colorway is called Spiced Apple. And it is beautiful, isn't it? Just beautiful. So I went ahead, I grabbed my hook, and I grabbed Crystal's tutorial, and I got to stitching. And before I knew it, the hour was up and I was done with my beanie. And I am so happy. It is great. So if you have not checked it out, please check out both of their channels because they're awesome. They have wonderful tutorials, beautiful results, and they work up great. Okay. So here is my beanie. All right. I think it is just great. Okay. And the beautiful thing about this one is you don't have to worry about starting and stopping because it is done in a spiral fashion. So it is great. Look at that, guys. You see that? It is just a beautiful, beautiful beanie. And I love it. Okay. Supersonic. All right. So that's not all. Again, I really wanted to do something in the different um, categories that I like to create. And so, of course, I had to do something knit. Now, these things that I wanted to knit, I was trying to do something because I wanted to give these in a special call to action that had come about. And I tried doing these a while back, and it really just took me a while to work on them. But I did finally get them done. I do have more yarn, and there are other patterns that I wanted to make to go with this. So hopefully I will be able to get them done. There's always a need for something like this, so I am sure that I will be able to get it done, and I will show you guys the progress on those as I work on them. All right. So for this, the yarn that I chose was this beautiful Karen Simply Soft, and this is what I had remaining. It was starting to get tangled, so I went ahead and balled it up. All right, but this I believe is teal. This is their teal color. And I think they call it pagoda. I don't think they call it that, but it's just a beautiful, beautiful color. Okay. All right. So now what did I make? All right. So I made two beanies. Here is one. And this one is my take on a pattern called the Karen Chemo Cap. Now, the Karen Chemo Cap is very similar to this. However, I don't believe that these two rows are here. And the defining feature of it is that there is this beautiful knit flower stitch pattern here. I like the pattern stitch, but I didn't really want to do it exactly. And so I found a different petal stitch to do. And so I did change it up a little bit using something similar, but not exactly. And I love the way it came out. And I also love the decreases. All right. Look at those decreases. They are just beautiful the way they turned out. All right. So I love it. All right. This is the Karen Chemo Cap. and it is a paid pattern, but it's also a free pattern. And I found it on Ravelry. Okay. All right. So let me give you the name of the person. A Little Nitty website. Okay, A Little Nitty. That's the name of the website where you can find this particular um, beanie. Okay. All right. So now the next one, and last but not least, I love trees, and you guys know that, right? And so I found a beautiful chemo cap, and it is called the Giving Tree. Now, this one I changed a little bit also, and I used the same yarn, okay? Because again, I'm doing this for a purpose, and this is the color that I'm trying to commemorate. All right. And you'll hear more about that later. All right. But I used my Karen Simply Soft and I made this beautiful pattern. Now, the Giving Tree um, is a pattern design by um, Robin Seeley, Celli. And I also found that one online on Ravelry. All right. So, are you ready to see my beautiful beanie? This one, I'm just so, so happy the way it turned out. Here it is. Look at that, guys. Isn't that beautiful? Just so beautiful. And so for this one, what I did was I knew how wide I wanted my beanie to be using the needles that I used. And so I did 90 stitches around. And in doing that, I was able to get 6 repeats for the trees. Okay. And then in doing that, I wanted a lot of decrease to make a beautiful cap. So for here, I did an 8 um, stitch decrease going around, so 8 section decrease. And in order to do that, I had to first decrease by 2 to get to 88, and then begin doing my decreases 8 each time as I went around. But I love the way this beanie turned out, and it's called the Giving Tree. Isn't that awesome? Now, I'm not sure if you noticed, but on each of these, I did this beautiful pearl bump here after I finished my ribbing. All right. So I did change this pattern up a bit by doing a 2x1 ribbing, and then I did the pearl bump. This pearl bump is something that I was really inspired to make by my dear friend Pamela over at Pamela's Crochet and Knit Corner. And Pamela just, described, that she did this in her beanies and that she really loved how it kind of separated the ribbing from the body of the hat. And I agree, it really is a beautiful accent to any beanie. So I thought, let me try it out. And I love it. And I do that on quite a few of my beanies. So I want to say thank you so much, Pamela, for the awesome inspiration. It really did help to make these just so beautiful. And I love that. Okay. All right. So, yes. So that's all I made. I made just 5 things, but I do think that that is making some progress. And I hope that you guys enjoyed it. What do you guys do for your first makes for the season in the wintertime? Have you been inspired by any of these things? Have you been inspired by other things? Let me know in the description box and in the comment section. And while you're at it, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. I need all the thumbs up to let me know that you like the videos and the content that I am providing to you guys. It really does help and it means a lot. And leave me a comment. I love seeing them. Now, I will admit these days, I honestly have not been able to do a lot of return, comments, but nonetheless, I do enjoy reading them. I will get around to commenting back on some. It's just been a lot, and I hope that you guys will understand. I want to thank each and every one of you for your prayers, for your well wishes, for just being there and just your heartfelt sentiments and just being so kind. It really means a lot. I really do appreciate it. I want to say thank you so much to Kim, the Crafty Nomad, for this awesome collaboration. I hope you decide to do it again. It is just wonderful and it helps to inspire each of us as we hope that you guys are inspired by what we do. Okay, so I'm not going to give you guys a puzzle this time. I am not at a place where I actually have those puzzles, but I will get back to it. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful time. All right. So, to each and every one of you, do everything you can to be mindful. Do everything you can to be at your best health. And by all means, guys, be crafty every day. Be inspiring. Share your gifts and do what you can each and every day. Tomorrow's not promised, you know? And so it is really important for us to just take in each moment, each day as it comes, to bless and to be blessed. All right. So I hope to see each and every one of you guys again soon in my next video or one of yours. Bye bye now.